Caster X here, and I have had the MOZA Slypod Pro for a few months already, and I've been dying to make you a video about it because this thing is so cool. Now, when I first started filming things, I didn't like the way movement looked in my videos. It always looked shaky to me. Then I discovered I could put my camera on a gimbal to smooth out the shake in my footage. That led me to discover that I really liked the look of slow controlled movement that was difficult to achieve with even a gimbal. So I started looking for an electronic slider. I wasn't impressed with the cheaper options online, and the really good ones from companies like Edelkrone were outside of my budget for sure. Then I discovered a slider with an identity crisis. The MOZA Slypod Pro is a slider, but also a tri-foot monopod. It was within my budget, seemed professional, and the fact that it could also function as a monopod was great. It's made out of a sturdy carbon fiber material and locks into an upright position as a monopod. It can easily be unlocked at the base when you're using it as a monopod and need to move your camera around. It came with a small but high quality head that can both pan and tilt to adjust your camera angle. As a slider, the Slypod Pro is easy to mount on a tripod with 2 separate mounting points that I even used with 2 tripods for added stability in some product shots that I did. If you want to use a single tripod, I would highly recommend a larger, heavier tripod and a longer mounting plate to help eliminate the shake I noticed in my footage when I was using a single, lighter weight tripod. The Slypod Pro extends 53 centimeters, which is plenty for the movement I'm going for. In its monopod position, the Slypod Pro lets you get some nice rising shots, and the motor seems strong enough to lift even medium weight cameras. When you mount it horizontally on a tripod, you can get some nice sliding shots or even push into a shot. One benefit of push-in shots with the Slypod Pro is that you can get these shots without the slider appearing in the shot, in the front of the shot, like it would on some traditional sliders. This gives you more room for bigger moves on these shots. Because of the unique way it moves your camera forward without a track, you could even get a shot where the camera travels through something if you wanted to. You can get some nice overhead sliding shots if you point the camera down that would be really difficult to achieve with a different setup. When you power it on, there is a ring of light that indicates it's on. And while you can control the movement of your camera directly from buttons on the Slypod Pro itself, I almost never do because you're going to want to connect it to MOZA's app on your phone for way more precise remote control. When I first connected the app, it automatically downloaded and installed the latest firmware to the Slypod. You can control the precise position of your camera and speed of its movement in the app, no problem. You can program specific movements or just have the slider continually move back and forth until you tell it to stop. I found remotely controlling the slider opens up options if you're someone that often films yourself. Rather than just static tripod shots, you can add dynamic movements to your shots of yourself, even when you're flying solo. If you are into taking time-lapse shots, then this is perfect for that as well. I found the battery life of the Slypod Pro to last several hours, and it was never an issue when it was fully charged. Now that I'm done saying a bunch of nice things about the product, I just want to point out maybe 2 things. The first, I already mentioned about you needing a heavier duty tripod to really keep your shot smooth. The second would be that this thing is still not silent. If there is a microphone nearby, you will probably hear the sound of the motor unless it is moving very slowly, which is fine for me because I'm typically using it for product shots or just to add movement to a shot that I will probably cover up with music anyway. If your goal is to use this for interviews in a quiet room, then you might want to look at the quieter slider, but overall this is a product that is easy to bring with me and set up when I'm out filming, and I would highly recommend it. Oh, and I almost forgot, there's a less expensive version called the Slypod E that MOZA makes if you don't need as much movement and you're using a smaller, lighter weight camera or your phone. You guys are awesome, as always, for making it to the end of the video with me. So please subscribe and let me know what you think about the Slypod Pro down in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you then. Or you'll see me then. And just imagine that I can see you back.